We welcome you back here to Longhorn Weekly, live from Plucker's, the West Campus location. Pleased to have Special Assistant David Harris, Video Coordinator for the Texas Longhorn basketball program, joining us. Now, thank you for showing up. Now I get to have your head. Now, just tell everybody, what it is exactly you do, and then I want to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
Well, David's a guy I've known for quite a while. He was a part of our program when I was an assistant coach at the University of Florida. He was a freshman at Florida and a student manager. Ended up leaving Florida probably shortly after I did and transferring to a Division II school in Ohio named Ashland, and had a good career there playing at Ashland. Decided he wanted to play. But I got to know David because, when we were in that Florida basketball program together, in the practice facility where the coaches' offices are, it's literally just a walk down the hallway to there's a stairway that goes down to the practice court. So you can hear when someone's on the court, getting shots up, bouncing the ball. You can hear it right from your office. So I'd be in the office late at night working on recruiting or maybe working on a scouting situation, and I'd hear a basketball bouncing late at night. I'm talking about like 10, 11, 12 at night.
And you knew it couldn't have been any of the players.
Well,
right?
no, I would always think, hey, this is really good. One of our guys is in here working, man. And, as a coach, that makes you feel good. It makes you feel so good when guys are in there doing extra and working on their game. And then I would walk down the hallway and I'd open the door and I'd look out over the railing downstairs on the court. And it'd always be David. And David used to do this thing where he would go, there's 6 baskets on the court, and he would go in clockwise or counterclockwise around the gym, making a shot at each basket. Remember that? Yeah. And he would just go around. But the guy just loved the game. He loved the game, and that really struck me back then. And I kind of followed his career from there, and he came and worked for us at VCU a couple years ago.
David, when you were a student manager, was it always in the back of your mind you still wanted to play? You still had the dream of playing? You thought you could play even as a good play manager, and that's you're using late at night to work on your game?
No, not really. I kind of accepted the fact that I was done playing, and I still loved basketball. I knew I wanted to get into coaching.
Yeah.
So I decided to be a student manager at Florida. The times when coach would see me in the gym, I still loved to play, and I wasn't practicing, so hopefully I can get on the team one day. I was just practicing, shooting around because I love basketball.
Yeah, and when you were a manager and you had been a player and gone through all of that, in your mind all along as a manager that coaching was probably the avenue you were going to go eventually?
Oh yeah, definitely. That was the main reason why I went to Florida to be a student manager. I know that's the route some of the head coaches take, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Is that something, Shaka, that I've seen managers at the University of Texas and in other programs as well, and I visit with them, and a lot of them go the route that David's done. They do the video route or whatever, but in their minds, a lot of those guys, they want to be a coach. They want to get, and that's kind of an avenue, kind of like how people go through scouting into getting into Major League Baseball organizations.
No question. I mean, we have managers in our program now, and those guys, they've got just as big of goals, and they're just as driven as anybody in our program. And some of them want to be coaches. Some of them want to be more maybe in the front office side of things in professional sports. But they're all very driven. They all love the game. And, I knew back then that David had a bright future because of his work ethic. He loved being in the gym. He was constantly around the guys. The guys liked him a lot. So it was pretty easy for us to, hire him. In fact, remember way back then, I said, hey, when you're ready, I want you to come be a GA at VCU. Once I got the VCU job. And, his playing career went for a few years. And then when he got done playing, he came and joined us at VCU as a GA. And we were really happy to bring her with us down here to Texas.
David, tell everybody exactly what you do.
Well, my title is Video Coordinator. So we have a big array of things that we do. One of the things that I do is kind of the technology things. A lot of for scouting, I make sure all the coaches have the games, and our game. I make sure our game is being filled. Get down. I have help with graduate assistants. as well. We break on the film as far as what plays we run, how well we do it, what defenses we're in, things we do well, things we don't do well. And then we'll help with scouting for opponents as well, trying to help the assistant coaches out with that.
I've watched you on the team plane, get on the plane after, and you're right into it. You guys in the GAs, you guys are jumping right into all that stuff. A quick turnaround and try to get things ready for the coaches, I take it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We want to make sure that Coach Smart and the rest of the assistants are prepared so they can relay the messages back to the team.
Shaka, what are the things that you and your staff want first and foremost from David and his guys in right after you have finished the game, be it home or on the road? What's something you want to see from them?
Well, David's got a really good sense for what we're trying to do as a team, and also for our preparation for the opponent. And the way that we do scouting is a little bit different than the way we've done it in the past. It always used to be one assistant coach has one team. But now that we do scouting is all of our assistant coaches are involved in every game prep in different areas. Darren Horn, for instance, has the offensive preparation. But what that means is when the game gets done, we have not only the post-game analysis of that last game and what we did well and what we need to do better, and statistical analysis. For instance, these guys will break down every time we've guarded a pick and roll. Did we guard it the right way with the ball handler's man, the screener's man, and the three guys off the ball? But not only that post-game stuff, but also we're turning around quickly to get ready for that next game. And David and a couple of our GAs, they lead the way in preparing for the team that we're going to play after this game.
Yeah, and just take for example, coming off a road game, and how quickly or how long does it take you to break down exactly what Coach Smart is looking for in terms of, say, all the pick and rolls or all the particular screen game or something like that, or rebounding or free throw shoot, whatever it is? How long does it take you to break down all the instances from a game and get it into a working order for the staff?
So Coach Smart, just like a lot of coaches now, is a big numbers guy. He loves analytics, he loves numbers. And one of the things that we do that's pretty cool now is as the game is going live, we're doing a lot of statistical things. So Coach loves watching film. He talks about with his freshmen being one-on-one. So he could show as soon as the game is over a player's shot chart, where they shot from the field, whether it was a good shot or a bad shot, and he can actually have a diagram of the court and also see those shots. So as soon as the game is over, he can see all of that. And also as soon as the game is over, he'll have all the games for the next opponent that we play. So on the plane ride, he can watch the game we just played and prepare for our next opponent.
See, Craig, it's a lot of work that David and the guys have, but I'll tell you what, technology makes it a lot easier. And the guy that we're going to have on the phone later in the show, I was his video coordinator. And back then it was VHS tapes. And back then the video equipment was nowhere as advanced. So, but I'm really fortunate to have David, because again, one thing that he knows what we want, and he sees the game in a similar way. So I can say to David, hey, I want you to pull off X, Y, and Z, instead of me having to tell him, hey, this particular play or that particular play. He knows what to look for, and he knows what we want.
I've got some more technological questions for you coming up. David Harris, Special Assistant Video Coordinator, joining us here live from Pluckers, the West Campus location. And we'll continue from Pluckers when Longhorn Weekly continues in a moment. Special Assistant Video Coordinator David Harris talking about basketball and from the video side of things. First of all, let me ask you this. What drew you to Coach Smart from a personal and professional perspective? What really stood out Shaka was doing?
Well, like he just said, I was a student manager at Florida, and me and him got really close when I would be in the gym late at night shooting around or even doing laundry or something, and he would ask me, hey, with the scouting report. So I'll help him a little bit. I mean, it was nothing. Maybe like type up his notes or something like that. And I remember he would always look out for me, and I always thought that he was such a great person for doing that, because assistant how busy he is with basketball in this and he really didn't have to pay attention to student manager. I really respected that, and I really the guy he was.
Well, you played in college at Ashland, talked about the Division II level. You earned a degree in finance. So how does a guy who goes to an outstanding institution of academia, who earns a degree in finance, decides he wants to get involved at the basketball level back in and working in video?
Well, it was kind of the other way. I knew I wanted to get be a coach, and so I wanted to focus on something school-related that had that was different than coaching, just in case if maybe I found out I didn't like coaching or something like that. I ended up loving it, but I always was intrigued with numbers, and finance is really interesting to me.
You talk about, and Shaka talked about it well, the evolution of technology. You've been right there to see it go and see it grow a little bit. Tell folks a little bit about how different it is than, say, even a few years ago when Shaka was talking about VHS tapes and things of that nature, but what you're doing digitally and how it really has sped up the process.
So it's actually pretty amazing. So when I was at Florida, I remember that we had this little closet that the graduate assistants there would be in, and they would be doing video. And I remember they would be in there so long because that was the tail end of VHSs. So VHSs were just leaving. And so they were in there all the time, and I remember thinking, man, I don't ever want to be a video coordinator. But technology definitely makes it easier. Everything is, everything's uploading and downloading now. All this stuff that I was talking about that we can do live during the game makes it so much easier now, and we can get things faster to Coach Smart because of how successful and easy technology is.
Is it also a matter with the GAs where you're communicating with them toward a game? Hey, let's get this, let's cut it. Or do they automatically know they're watching for certain things that they're cutting up or marking or getting ready for edit?
So they have their day-to-day, what they do every day, so they know exactly what we're doing with after every game. We'll also, if, for example, we want to look at something every time Isaiah passed the ball or something, so we would cut that up. Anything, it could be random, anything it is, we'll be able to get whatever the coaches need and as fast as possible.
Now, we mentioned that the video position quite often has led a pathway into coaching, so you feel you have the makeup. You'd like to be a coach.
Oh, for sure. One of the great reasons why it's great to work for Coach Smart is because he doesn't look at either a grad assistant or a video coordinator or even a director of ops as just those positions. He looks at you as an assistant coach, which is, you can't say that for all programs. And I'm really blessed to be with Coach Smart because even though my position, my title says video coordinator, he still looks at me as an assistant coach.
So someday when you're the head coach at a major Division I program, you're going to be nice to your video coordinator, right? Taking in all the GAs and all those people because you've come up with the right?
Absolutely.
What do you like most about being involved with the University of Texas in the Texas and Longhorn basketball program?
Well, I remember growing up, P.J. Ford and obviously Kevin Durant, and just the great tradition we have here, and just being able to be with Coach Smart and the rest of these guys to build something new and add on to the great tradition that's already here.
Do you realize how old you just made me and a lot of people feel by saying you grew up watching T.J. Ford? You realize that? I just talk it. Anyway, it's good to see you. Thank you for dropping by, David.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.